Wentz on first down. Fakes, looks, fires, complete. Touchdown! Zach Ertz.
Joining me this week for Tape Study is Eagles game plan producer Fran Duffy. Fran, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ike.
Well, we break this team down every week, right? And we give you the good and the bad of the team. And it seems like there's enough on both sides each week to sort of digest. No different this last week versus the Cowboys. Some positive things they did late in the game, but they're also going to look back this film and say we missed out on some opportunities. Here's one opportunity early, or late in the game, I should say, where the Eagles were able to get on the board, take advantage of being in the red zone, find Zach Ertz for a touchdown.
Yeah, I think really to steal a quote from Jim Schwartz, the Eagles are playing like a 4-5 team. So you're going to see some good, you're going to see some bad each and every week. This is a play where they are going to succeed, and this is something they do such a great job of really on a weekly basis. You're going to take Zach Ertz here, and you're going to bring him in motion from left to right. And what that's going to tell Carson Wentz is, are they playing man or zone defense? Watch these linebackers here. When Ertz comes in motion, nobody runs with him. They just bump. They slide the coverage that direction. So immediately now, Carson Wentz knows, okay, it's going to be some kind of zone. With the Cowboys lining up in single high, one high safety, do you have a good idea this is going to be cover 3? And one of the best ways to attack cover 3 is right down the seam. That's really going to be the weak point. You've got a corner out wide. Nelson Aguilar is going to occupy him. You've got that single high safety. This play action fake is going to take the linebacker. So there's your void right here for Carson Wentz to drop this ball in to Zach Ertz. Perfectly designed play. Carson executes this at a very high level, and it goes for a touchdown.
Yeah, nice easy throw, pitch and catch. Watched them do this just about on a weekly basis last year, where they were the #1 red zone team in the NFL.
No question, and we just haven't seen enough of it. They've been able to move the football. This isn't a team that has a lot of 3 and outs. There aren't a lot of turnovers on offense. Really, the big thing is they get into that fringe area, that +30, the +40, and then these drives just start to sputter out. You mentioned third down, red zone, situational football, which was a strength for this team a year ago, has not been so far this year.
Yeah, they've shown flashes of where they can do things like this and get you 7 points, but then they've shown you times where we take a look on this play and it's a missed opportunity that should have been taken advantage of.
No question. This is third down in the red zone, so really an extra special situation here where they need to be able to convert. They're going to do the same thing where you're going to bring Alshon Jeffrey from this time the right side over to the left. Now you want to see how is the defense going to respond. And initially, Dallas is going to do the same thing they did on that last one. They're going to bump out Leighton Vander Esch. That gives you that early indication, well, it could be zone. But watch here at the second level, Jalen Smith kind of calling a little bit of a change here with the alignment. They're going to send a corner out over Alshon. So now you think, all right, well, it might be man. This is where you got to give some credit to Dallas, and Carson Wentz actually talked about this after the game. He initially thinks that this could be man coverage, but it's actually going to be zone. So you're going to get Alshon Jeffrey running a slant here to the middle of the field. Carson thinks it's man coverage. He's going to lay this out right ahead of Alshon, but Alshon throttles down because he feels that he's in zone coverage. He throttles down. Carson throws this ball right about here. It's out of reach. Everyone says, oh man, terrible throw by Carson Wentz, but really those guys just aren't on the same page, and we're seeing this way too often this year.
Watch here, it's not just on the offensive side of the ball, it's on the defensive side of the ball as well. Jim Schwartz calls this defense, and this is the #1, #2 run defense in the league that the Eagles have. And Ezekiel Elliott, they bottled him up in the first half, but the second half, he started to find some holes in this defense. And a lot of it was to the Eagles' own undoing, right? When you're not in the proper gap and you're there to make the play, you're going to have big plays happen just like this one here.
No question. So Dallas lines up in a closed formation to the boundary, meaning there's nobody out here for Rasul Douglas to cover. He has got to be a part of the run fit. Now, we know that the Eagles line up with those wide defensive ends. So you've got Brandon Graham out here. He is a D-gap player. So that means that Rasul, he has got to be present in the C-gap. If that run bounces back to that side, he has got to be there to make an impact on Ezekiel Elliott. And on that play, he certainly was not.
I mean, when they sit back and watch this film, this play bounces just exactly how they wanted to bounce.
Yep.
Again, if there's any coaching point here, maybe Brandon doesn't get as wide. That's a little bit of a big lane right there to have to defend. But Rasul has to realize you got to continue to go. You got to go make that play. That should be a 4-yard gain at the most, 5-yard gain at the most. Instead, it breaks out for one of the bigger runs in the game.
And how much of that is mental versus physical? We know that he's got the size to be able to come out and do it, but you have to go and want and make that kind of tackle against a back like Zeke.
Yeah, you got to have confidence. We know what type of running back Ezekiel Elliott is, but this is the NFL, right? And so you got to be able to go in there and commit make that tackle. You got 10 other guys relying on you to do your job. That's often what has hurt this team, is that there's one or two guys that's out of position and the other guys seem to pay for it.
Tape Study is brought to you by Chickies and Pete's, proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.